Hi, I'm Chris Haig and this is the Fiddle Channel, and today we're going to play a Hank Williams song, I Saw the Light. I Saw the Light is a song from Hank Williams, recorded in 1947 with Tommy Jackson on the fiddle. And this is a very popular song. It's been covered by people like Bill Monroe, Johnny Cash, Roy Acuff, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, and numerous bands that I've played with in the past. I do have a collection of Hank Williams tunes stroke songs on my Patreon page, 20 of these songs arranged for the fiddle, which you might find useful, and you can only get from my Patreon page. I'm going to look at the intro, which I believe is always the most important thing in these songs for the fiddle, the vocal verse and chorus, and what you can do for backing and also for solo. So let's look at the intro. And most Hank Williams intros are 4 bars only. This is 8 bars, which is unusual. I'll give it you first of all just melody, and then we'll add the harmony and the ornaments. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we have there is basically the end of the chorus, which is usually how the intro comes about in these songs. It's just that there's 8 bars of it instead of 4 bars of it. So to that we're going to add some drones. So we're going to start off with a G drone under the D, then a B drone under the G, a D drone under the B, and a hammer-on for the B. G over B again. Keep the 3rd finger on and play the 2nd finger above it. So hammer on from a 2nd to a 4th, ending with 2nd over 3rd. So let's just play that intro over the backing. Now, let's have a look at the vocal line for the verse and for the chorus. You normally are not going to play the vocal line, and certainly not at the same time as the singer, but I always think it's really important and useful for the fiddle player to be able to play the vocal line. Mostly so that you can orient yourself with the phrasing and everything, so that you are really familiar with where the gaps are and that kind of thing, where the chords change. And also you can use this as the basis of a solo, or in some circumstances you may find yourself playing a song like this as an instrumental. Oh, certainly I used to. So, verse. And we've got that little fill at the end, which is obviously not a vocal thing. When I'm learning one of these, I will normally add some extra notes, that kind of thing, because you're not aiming to imitate the voice itself, so it makes more sense to imitate the style of fiddle, which is appropriate. So for a lot of the high Gs, we're putting a D below it, for example, and for the Cs, an A note over a C. So that kind of thing. Chorus is very similar. We've just got these little accidentals. So B flat, B natural to B flat and back up to B. it's important if you are transcribing one of these verses or choruses yourself, don't be too literal about it. Don't try and follow every little turn of phrase or every little bend of the note, because singers do things differently from fiddle players. Just keep it as simple and basic as possible. That's the way I do it, and then you can add to it or subtract from it even. But you'll spend a lot of wasted time if you try and get it exactly as the singer was doing it. So let's hear the intro, the verse and the chorus. Verse. Now let's have a look at what you might do for backing. It's really important that you know the chords, and the chords are always easy, so it's not difficult to work them out. Mostly we have ones, fours and fives with Hank Williams songs, and I think that is the case here. For each chord there are a lot of alternatives. So for G, if you're thinking of two note shapes, that's just some of them. And in the long run, it's great to know all of them for every chord and to have them all at your disposal. But chords are not all equal when it comes to two-note shapes. And I made this discovery last year about what I call the three-chord trick, which really does help to make the decision as to which pairs to actually use. So if we're in the chord of G, you always start on the third note above the chord name. So that's G, that's the third above, which is a B. So the B is the top note, and the note below is a sixth below, and it will always be a sixth below because it's part of this scale, which is what I call the scale of sixths, and I have a video explaining that, and you will find this extremely useful with these kind of songs. So the great thing when we come to the three-chord trick about using that shape, that's the one chord. The two chord is one step away from that. So it's just one step up. And the five chord is one step up again or one step down. Which means the one, the four and the five are all just one step away. So you're not kind of randomly choosing which is the best shape to choose. Your first shape, that one, defines what the next ones are going to be for the most economical use of your fingers. The only variation to that is when we go from a G to a G7. Then keep your B on, bring your third finger down to an F natural, which is the seventh of G, and then to the C. So, having chosen that, you then have, you can do long notes, like that. You can do long notes walking from one chord to the next, and I'm just going to give you an example of that. So by walking, I mean walking up this scale. And that really helps to knit the chords together. And I did a video called Joined Up Country, which shows exactly how you can join up your chords in this way. It shows you and everybody else not only what chord you're on, but what chord you're going to. And for a lot of fiddle players, this kind of thing is beyond their responsibility. It's not something you have to worry about. But really, to be a good fiddle player, you have to understand the song and drive the song along, and to some extent do the job of the bass player and the guitarist, especially if you're not playing with a full band. So also, having worked out these chords, you can do shuffles. That's the Nashville Shuffle. You could do the Georgia Shuffle. You could do chops. That kind of thing. Or you can, in this style of music, you can do extended fills. So you can kind of solo behind a verse, which normally I would say is not a good idea, but in this particular style of country and in Western swing and in a few other styles, you can actually kind of solo behind the singer so long as it's quiet and not getting in the way, so long as you're not trying to drag attention from the singer. So I will do a couple of times round the verse, just showing different types of rhythm that you can play behind it. So once you've mastered all of these techniques, you'll realise that to play Hank Williams songs, all you need to know really is to know what the intro is, to recognise the chord structure and the structure of the song, and then you can do the same, apply all the same techniques to all of those songs, which I think is a pretty handy thing to know. And I did a video on playing Hank Williams songs, the general style and approach, which you might also find useful. I hope you found this one useful. If you'd like a copy of the sheet music, do subscribe to the channel, send me an email, and I will send you a copy of the PDF. And if you would like to help keep these videos coming and also get your hands on lots and lots of other resources that no one else can get, then do join me on Patreon. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.